A spiritual door is opening, but only for a short time. What's behind it could change your entire life path. My beloved child, there is a trembling in the spirit realm right now, a vibration that Archangel Michael has been waiting for you to feel. A spiritual door is opening, but only for a short time, and what stands behind it has the power to redirect the entire path of your life. This is not a gentle whisper. This is a divine alarm meant only for the chosen, only for the awakened, only for the ones whose spirit is ready to rise. And today that chosen one is you. From the moment you woke up today, something in the atmosphere has been pulling at your soul. You may not be able to explain it, but Archangel Michael has been aligning events around you, so you would arrive right here, right now, hearing this message at the exact second you needed it. Because the door that is opening for you is not a normal door. This is a destiny gate, a rare crack in the spiritual timeline where heaven bends closer to your life than usual. And listen carefully, this door does not stay open long. Archangel Michael is standing guard by this opening. His sword is lit with blue flame, clearing every shadow, every confusion, every silent enemy that has been hiding in the corners of your path. He has watched you walk through seasons where people misunderstood your heart, where family didn't see your worth, where you gave love and loyalty in places that never returned it. He saw every tear, every private battle, every moment you whispered, "God, I just need a sign." This is the sign. Right now, on the other side of that door, something with your name on it is waiting. For some of you, it is clarity about your purpose. For others, it is restoration of something you thought was lost forever. For a few, it is a sudden, unexpected blessing that shifts your whole direction. But do not mistake this. What is behind the door is not random. It is targeted, measured, assigned, prepared. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something crucial. Before the door opens fully, there is always spiritual tension. You may have felt sudden fatigue, strange dreams, emotional heaviness, or a wave of doubt out of nowhere. That was not weakness. It was spiritual pressure. Because whenever a door of destiny prepares to open, the enemy attempts distraction, fear, confusion, anything to make you miss your moment. But you didn't miss it. You're here. And this is why you cannot look away now. The moment this door opens, something that was blocked for years will suddenly open. A cycle that felt endless will break. A chain you thought you had to live with will snap. And Archangel Michael is saying, do not fear the shift. You were born for it. But listen closely, this door is not just a blessing, it is a separation. When a spiritual doorway opens, it reveals truth. It uncovers hidden intentions. It exposes fake connections. It brings clarity where there was fog. And some of you are about to discover that not everyone standing beside you wants to see you step through this door. Archangel Michael is warning you gently, but firmly. Someone close to you has been silently blocking your growth without you realizing it. Not with curses or hatred, but with energy, doubt, jealousy, or emotional weight. The door is about to show you who is aligned with your future and who belongs to your past. Do not be surprised if someone's true heart begins to reveal itself. Do not be shaken if God begins to remove certain people from your path. This is not loss, it is protection. This is not rejection, it is divine redirection. And hear this, Archangel Michael is saying that once the door opens, you will feel a shift inside your spirit. It will feel like something is being pulled forward in you. Old patterns will suddenly feel too small. Old emotions will no longer control you. Old fears will lose their power. You are stepping into a higher version of yourself, and this door is the transition point. Something powerful is breaking through. Something sacred is approaching. Something long delayed is finally being released toward you. And before you move further, I need you to stay with me because the next revelation is the one that brings everything together. Trust me, this next part will connect dots you didn't even know were related. This is where the meaning behind the door becomes undeniable. Type "I step through the door" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 144 is now activated. Dearest soul of light, there is something stirring in the unseen realm around you. Something Archangel Michael has been preparing long before you even knew this moment was coming. The spiritual door that has begun to open for you is not just a doorway. It is a revelation, a turning point, a divine intersection where your old path and your destined path finally collide. And right now, heaven is leaning closer to your life than it has in a very long time. You may feel a strange pull deep inside you, as if something is calling your spirit forward. That tug is not imagination. It is the vibration of the door aligning with your inner frequency. When a door like this begins to open, it resonates through your emotions, your thoughts, your dreams, and your atmosphere. It disrupts anything that has been stagnant. It shakes loose anything that has been blocking you. It brings to the surface every hidden truth that needs to be seen before you step into your next dimension. Archangel Michael is making sure nothing follows you through this doorway that does not belong in your future. He is reminding you that destiny is not something you stumble into. It is something you step into when the supernatural aligns with divine timing. And right now, timing is everything. This door is not open forever. It is a limited spiritual window, a sacred moment where heaven decides you are ready for what once felt unreachable. You may have felt delayed, overlooked, or forgotten, but none of that was true. You were being prepared. You were being molded. You were being reshaped so you could withstand the magnitude of what is waiting for you behind this door. Some of you have been in a season where nothing made sense. You felt drained. You felt disconnected. You felt like you were standing at the edge of something but had no idea what it was. That was the spiritual pressure building around this divine opening. Archangel Michael knows you have carried burdens that were heavier than anyone around you realized. You pushed through days when your heart was tired. You kept faith alive even when you were running on empty. And heaven has been watching every moment. Nothing went unnoticed. Nothing was wasted. Every tear, every struggle, every silent battle has become the offering that is now unlocking this door for you. And hear this with your whole spirit. When God opens a door, He does not open it halfway. He opens it with purpose. He opens it with precision. He opens it with intention. And Archangel Michael stands at the threshold, clearing the spiritual debris that once clouded your path. He is removing confusion. He is destroying fear. He is dismantling the lies you once believed about yourself. Because what waits behind this door cannot be carried with the weight of your past thinking. There is something extraordinary waiting for you. Something crafted for your soul's blueprint. Something that feels like home even though you've never seen it before. It should be the breakthrough you prayed for when you thought heaven was silent. It could be the opportunity that was blocked for years and is suddenly released. It could be the healing of something deep inside you that you thought time had stolen. It could be the restoration of a dream you buried because life made you doubt it could ever be real again. But listen carefully. Before this door opens fully, you must understand the shift it brings. A spiritual doorway always reveals what has been hidden behind the veil. It exposes intentions. It makes masks fall. It brings truth out of shadows. And some of you will soon see why certain situations felt uneasy, why certain people drained your energy, why certain connections lacked peace. The door is not only revealing what is ahead, it is revealing what cannot come with you. Archangel Michael is preparing your spirit for this unveiling. He is giving you clarity that you might have resisted before because you cared too deeply. But now, he is giving you strength. Strength to release what weakens you. Strength to walk away from what delays you. Strength to step into the unknown with boldness instead of fear. You are entering a season where your spirit will rise higher than your doubts, where your inner knowing will become louder than the noise around you, and where your purpose will begin to anchor itself with power. This is why your soul feels unsettled yet excited. This is why your spirit feels stretched yet awakened. You are standing in the in-between, a narrow space where you have not yet stepped through the door, but you no longer fit in the place you came from. This is the transition point where everything begins to shift. And I need you to understand something important. This moment is sacred. The next revelation will illuminate the deeper meaning behind the door itself. What is calling you is not random. It is connected to your destiny in ways you have never considered. You are about to understand why the battles were so intense, why some endings came suddenly, and why your spirit could not settle for less than what God intended for you. Hold stay, because the next unfolding will bring clarity that will leave you breathless. Before you move on, pause for just a moment, because what follows is the key that ties everything together. You will thank yourself for not looking away now. Type "I walk toward my destiny" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 333 has now been released. Precious seeker of truth, there is a deeper stirring in your spirit right now, a trembling that Archangel Michael has pressed upon your heart with intention. The spiritual door opening before you is not simply an event. It is a divine appointment, a pre-written moment in the timeline of your soul. And as you stand here, between what was and what will be, heaven is whispering a truth that cannot be ignored. What lies behind this door has the power to alter the trajectory of your entire life path. You may feel a strange tension within you at this very moment. Pull forward, yet a weight releasing from behind you. This is not confusion. This is alignment. Archangel Michael is recalibrating your spirit so you can step into this threshold without fear, without hesitation, and without the remnants of past seasons clinging to your energy. The shift happening inside you is the first sign that you are nearing the doorway God has prepared. For a long time, you carried pieces of yourself that were shaped by disappointment, shaped by betrayal, shaped by long delays that made you question whether your prayers were ever heard. But Archangel Michael has seen the battles you fought in silence. He watched you push through days when hope felt thin and nights when your spirit felt tired. And he guarded you when unseen forces tried to break you before this moment arrived. Nothing you went through was wasted. Every chapter, even the painful ones, have prepared you to recognize the sacred door now standing before you. The reason this moment feels different is because it is different. You are not just receiving clarity, you are receiving a destiny recalibration. What awaits behind this door is something that has been forming for years in the background of your life. You were not ready for it before. Your heart had to grow. Your mind had to stretch. Your spirit had to mature. Now the version of you standing here is finally aligned with the version of the life waiting behind the doorway. But listen carefully. Before the door swings fully open, heaven will reveal the truth about the people, places, and energies surrounding you. This revelation is not meant to hurt you. It is meant to free you. You will begin to sense who has been draining your spirit and who has been silently protecting it. You will understand why certain relationships struggled and why certain opportunities never worked out. You will realize that some things were blocked not because you were unworthy, but because they were too small for your calling. Archangel Michael is clearing the shadows that once blurred your inner vision. The spiritual fog you felt before was temporary, a veil that is now being lifted so you can see your path with clarity and authority. You may begin to notice changes in your intuition. You may feel sudden surges of inner knowing. You may start sensing when something is wrong, even before it happens. That is not anxiety, that is activation. A higher level of spiritual sensitivity is being awakened in you because the next chapter of your life requires a sharper, stronger, more spiritually aware version of you. Behind the door is a shift so powerful that once you step through, you will not recognize the person you were before. This is a moment of rebirth, a moment of restoration, a moment where heaven releases what was withheld until the appointed time. And Archangel Michael wants you to prepare your heart because what awaits you will require a spirit ready to receive. Some of you are stepping into new levels of purpose, new opportunities, or powerful breakthroughs that redefine your path. For others, what is behind the door is healing. Deep healing, healing of wounds you learned to live with, wounds you thought time had buried, but heaven is ready to transform. And for a few, the door holds the restoration of a calling you thought had died. But the truth is, it never died. It was being sharpened. Do not be surprised if you feel emotional, even without reason. Do not be surprised if memories surface, if old patterns break, or if sudden clarity hits you like a wave. This is the purification before transition. Archangel Michael is removing the final remnants of what no longer serves your destiny, so you can walk through this door unhindered. And now, before this revelation unfurls further, pause for a moment. What comes next is not just information, it is illumination. It is the unveiling of the hidden reason this door appeared now, in this season, at this exact point in your journey. You are closer to the breakthrough than you realize, and the next unfolding will reveal why the timing had to be so precise. Hold steady, because the next moment carries a truth that will awaken something powerful inside you. Before you scroll away, know this. You are standing on the edge of something life-changing, something your spirit has been waiting on for years. Type "I am ready for the shift" in the comments if this is reaching your spirit. Blessing code 555 has now awakened. Now take a moment to breathe, because I must speak to you directly from the heart of this message. If this divine revelation is stirring something inside you, then help carry this light further. Like this message, share it, comment with what resonated, and subscribe so you never miss these divine moments again. The more engagement this message receives, the more souls it reaches, and someone out there is praying for the very word you just received. Before we continue, here is your support message, written for this moment, flowing with the same spiritual breath as this revelation. When you choose to support this mission, you are not supporting a channel. You are sowing into the rescue of souls standing at the edge of their own spiritual doorway. Every gift becomes a seed of light, a spark heaven uses to reach someone who is crying for guidance. Just as God opens doors in your life, He uses your generosity to open doors in the lives of others. Let this be your trigger moment where you say, "I am part of this divine work." The same anointing that guards your path will multiply through your giving like oil that never runs out. If the Spirit is stirring you, release your offering through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. Blessings flow to the ones who obey quickly. Step into this act of faith now. Beloved one walking toward revelation, there is a hush in the spirit realm surrounding you right now, a sacred stillness that Archangel Michael himself has placed around your path. This stillness is not empty. It is the silence before a divine unfolding. The spiritual door that has begun to open for you is widening, and with it, a deeper wave of truth is flowing into your life. You may not see it with your natural eyes yet, but heaven is orchestrating a shift so precise, so intentional, that when it fully manifests, you will understand why your journey had to be shaped exactly the way it was. You may feel as though something is rising within you, a quiet but undeniable sense that change is not coming, it is already here. This feeling is not imagination. It is the vibration of the spiritual door aligning itself with your destiny. Every moment of heaviness you felt before, every confusion that clouded your mind, every delay that made you question your worth, all of it was part of a divine recalibration. Archangel Michael has been preparing you, strengthening you, and positioning you so that when this door opened, you would have the spiritual maturity to walk through it with clarity instead of fear. For so long, you carried a version of yourself shaped by circumstances rather than purpose. You adapted to survive. You adjusted to fit spaces that did not honor you. You lowered your voice in rooms where you were meant to speak boldly. But this shifting door is revealing the truth of who you really are. You were never meant to shrink. You were never meant to dim. You were never meant to live in environments that starved your growth. And Archangel Michael is ensuring that the season ahead of you aligns only with your highest calling. Behind this spiritual door is a moment that will awaken parts of you that you forgot existed. You will remember dreams you let go of. You will reconnect with strengths you abandoned. You will rediscover confidence that life tried to silence. The restoration that awaits you is not small. It is full, complete, overflowing. This is why the door could not open sooner. Your spirit had to be strong enough to receive without sabotaging what was coming. And hear this with the depth of your being. The door is not only opening to new opportunities, it is opening to truth. Truth about people. Truth about your purpose. Truth about the unseen forces that have been influencing your journey. Some of you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your relationships. Certain conversations will feel different. Certain people will feel distant. Certain connections will no longer carry the same emotional weight. This is not rejection. This is divine filtration. Heaven is removing anything that does not match the frequency of the life waiting ahead of you. Archangel Michael stands with you now, revealing the hidden motives behind the actions of others. Not to stir fear, but to give you clarity. He wants you to see who is truly aligned with your rising. He wants you to understand who supports your growth and who feels threatened by your elevation. The door is not simply offering entry, it is offering discernment. And discernment is one of the greatest gifts you will need as you step into this next season of spiritual authority. You may also begin to experience sudden clarity in your thoughts. Where confusion once lived, understanding will begin to bloom. Where fear once controlled your steps, courage will rise effortlessly. The old emotional patterns that once held power over you will begin to feel foreign. This is because the frequency of your spirit is ascending. Your old battles cannot survive the new realm you are entering. What weighed you down before will no longer attach to you, because your elevation is dismantling old attachments. The door is also revealing something deeper, your spiritual alignment. For many of you, the shift you are feeling is calling you to step into a higher level of purpose. You may feel drawn to things you once ignored. You may feel called to paths you never considered. You may even sense that there is something you were born to do that is now waking up inside you. This awakening is part of the door's assignment. It is reminding you of who you were before life placed labels on you, before fear reshaped you, before disappointment taught you to doubt your own spirit. Archangel Michael is clearing away the noise so you can hear the voice within you, the voice that has been waiting patiently, longing to guide you back to your divine identity. This is not a small moment. This is not an ordinary shift. This is a spiritual rebirth unfolding right before your eyes. And now, before this revelation takes you deeper, pause. What is coming next will bring understanding that connects every piece of the journey you have walked. The next unfolding will clarify why the door opened now, not earlier, not later. You are about to see the deeper reason behind your battles, the hidden meaning behind your delays, and the sacred purpose behind your endurance. Stay with me, because the next revelation carries the heartbeat of your destiny. Hold still, because this is where everything begins to make sense. Type "I embrace what is opening" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 1212 has now been released. Chosen soul walking through awakening, there is a deeper shift unfolding around you, one that Archangel Michael has been preparing long before you ever sensed it. The spiritual door that stands before you has begun to open wider, and with every inch of movement, truth is pouring out like a river of light. This is not a moment of chance. This is alignment. This is orchestration. This is the divine timeline adjusting itself so your destiny can finally step forward and take its rightful place in your life. You may not fully understand what is happening yet, but your spirit does. The inner stirring you feel, the rising awareness inside you, the sudden clarity forming in your thoughts. These are confirmations that heaven is unveiling something significant. For years, you walked through seasons that felt confusing, heavy, or uncertain. You questioned your worth. You questioned your voice. You questioned whether the dreams in your heart were truly from God or simply your imagination. You carried disappointments quietly, learned to hide your struggles, and kept standing even on days when your strength felt thin. But what you didn't know is that every moment of your endurance was building the spiritual maturity needed to handle what this door is now offering you. Archangel Michael watched you hold on when it would have been easier to give up. He stood beside you when unseen forces tried to weaken your spirit. And now, heaven is honoring the strength you did not even know you were showing. Behind the spiritual door is a shift that will alter the direction of your life with irreversible power. Not because your life needs rescuing, but because it is time. Time for clarity. Time for breakthrough. Time for restoration. Time for realignment with your divine assignment. This door is not small. It does not carry temporary blessings or short-lived opportunities. What stands behind it is lasting, stable, transformative. This is the kind of shift that makes you look back a year from now and barely recognize who you used to be. And Archangel Michael is saying something important to your spirit. What awaits you requires a version of you that is ready, steady, and spiritually aware. That is why you have been feeling emotional shifts. That is why certain people have pulled away or acted strangely. That is why you feel detached from things that once felt familiar. You are not losing anything. You are being prepared. Old attachments are breaking because your spirit is rising. Old mindsets are dissolving because your future demands clarity. Old fears are losing their power because the door carries a frequency too high for them to survive. You may begin to notice a new strength forming within you, even if you still feel unsure. Confidence is awakening. Discernment is sharpening. Your senses are becoming more spiritually alert. You are beginning to see situations differently. You are beginning to understand people's intentions more clearly. You are beginning to recognize patterns you once overlooked. This is not paranoia. This is perception being elevated by heaven. Archangel Michael is loosening the veils that once kept you from seeing truth, and now the world around you is coming into focus. But with this clarity comes revelation, some of it comforting, some of it surprising. The spiritual door not only reveals what is ahead, it exposes what has been quietly affecting your journey. You may realize that someone you trusted has been draining your energy, not through hatred, but through emotional instability or spiritual misalignment. You may sense that a situation you kept trying to fix was never meant to be repaired, because it belonged to a version of you that no longer exists. You may even discover that certain opportunities you wanted were actually distractions meant to keep you from aligning with your true purpose. This revelation is not punishment. It is protection. Archangel Michael is clearing your path so that nothing contaminated, nothing deceptive, nothing draining can follow you through the door. He is reshaping your circle, your environment, and your spiritual atmosphere. Not because anything around you is inherently evil, but because you are stepping into a level where every connection must carry purpose, peace, and alignment. Behind this door is the life your spirit has been whispering about for years. The life where your gifts awaken fully. The life where your voice carries authority. The life where your purpose becomes undeniable. The life where everything that once felt scattered begins to fall into place. But before you enter that life, heaven will ensure that nothing and no one pulls you backward. You may feel moments of heaviness as this transition happens, but do not misunderstand it. That heaviness is not your spirit sinking. It is your old self falling away. You are shedding old energies, old fears, old versions of yourself that were never meant to walk into your future. This shedding process can feel emotional, but it is also liberating. You are being freed. You are being unbound. You are being redefined by heaven. And now, as this revelation sinks deeper, you are standing in the sacred pause between understanding and transformation. What comes next is the unfolding of why this door opened now, why heaven chose this moment, why your spirit has been feeling this call so strongly. You are about to see how every part of your journey has been woven into this single moment of divine transition. So stay with me. The next unveiling will strike your spirit with powerful clarity. Before you move on, hold steady, because what is coming next is a turning point. Type "I align with my divine path" in the comments if this resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 848 has now been released. Radiant soul standing on the edge of divine unfolding, there is a profound shift moving toward you with increasing intensity, and Archangel Michael is drawing your spirit closer to its meaning. The spiritual door that has been opening before you is no longer subtle. It is no longer quiet. Its presence is becoming undeniable, almost like a wind you can feel, but cannot see. This is heaven's way of signaling that the transition is accelerating. What once felt distant is approaching. What once seemed impossible is aligning. And what once confused your heart is beginning to take shape and clarity. You may have noticed that your spirit has become more sensitive in the last few days. Small things feel more significant. Your intuition has been whispering louder. Your emotions rise and settle quickly. Your thoughts feel sharper and more aware. All of this is confirmation that you are no longer standing outside the door. You are standing at the threshold itself. Archangel Michael is adjusting your energy, so you do not enter the next chapter carrying the vibrations of the old one. This is a moment of purification, and purification often feels like restlessness, because your spirit is shedding what it no longer wants to hold. You may feel moments where you want to withdraw, moments where you want silence, moments where you feel the need to pause and breathe deeply. That is not exhaustion. That is spiritual alignment pulling you into stillness so you can hear heaven clearly. The noise of your old season is fading because heaven is amplifying the frequency of the new. The deeper this door opens, the more your spirit separates from anything that once diluted your purpose. Archangel Michael is standing beside this door with authority, watching as layers of misunderstanding fall off your life. He has been revealing to you why certain people treated you the way they did. He has been showing you why certain opportunities looked promising but were never meant to be. He has been uncovering the subtle ways you gave too much of yourself to people who were never meant to steward your heart. And now, as the veil lifts, you are seeing your past with truth instead of emotion. You are seeing your patterns with wisdom instead of shame. You are seeing your future with hope instead of doubt. Behind the spiritual door is a powerful alignment that has been waiting for the right moment to activate. It contains connections, provisions, breakthroughs, revelations, and shifts that would have overwhelmed you in previous seasons. But not now. You are stronger. You are clearer. You are more spiritually awake. You are no longer operating from fear, but from awareness. You are no longer reacting, but discerning. You are no longer surviving, but rising. Some of the emotions you have felt recently were not yours. They were echoes of the old version of you trying to convince you to stay comfortable. But comfort has never developed destiny. And Archangel Michael is making sure you do not choose comfort when God has already chosen calling for you. You are being elevated. You are being positioned. You are being prepared for territory your spirit always knew was yours, but your mind couldn't yet comprehend. This door is not just about opportunity, it is about transformation. It is about the release of spiritual inheritance that has been stored up for you. Gifts you haven't used yet. Power you haven't tapped into. Strength you didn't know you carried. There is potential inside you that heaven has been holding back until the right moment. This door is the release point. This is where your dormant gifts awaken. This is where your hidden strength rises. This is where your soul remembers its divine blueprint. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something important. As this door opens, the pressure you feel is not a sign of danger. It is a sign of transition. The tension before breakthrough is always the strongest. The air feels thicker. The emotions feel deeper. The intuition feels sharper. This is heaven's way of preparing you for acceleration. The closer you get to the turning point, the more your spirit feels the shift. It is like standing at the edge of a cliff, not in fear, but in awe of what awaits the leap. You may find yourself reflecting on your past differently. Memories may rise not to hurt you, but to free you. You are healing at a faster rate than ever before, because heaven is clearing space for what is coming. You are no longer carrying emotional clutter. You are no longer tied to old attachments. You are no longer defined by wounds. You are becoming whole, and wholeness is the key that unlocks this door fully. What comes next will be one of the most profound realizations you have ever had. It will connect the journey you've walked with the destiny that has been waiting. It will reveal why this door opened now and not earlier. It will uncover the divine timing behind your delays. And it will prepare you for the moment when stepping through the door becomes unavoidable. You are not just moving forward, you are being ushered forward. Heaven is guiding your steps with precision. Archangel Michael is clearing your path with power. And your spirit is rising with purpose. So hold your heart steady. What unfolds next will carry the weight of revelation and the beauty of destiny. Wait for this next unfolding will feel like a light suddenly turning on inside your soul. Type "I receive my awakening" in the comments if this is calling to your spirit. Blessing code 2929 has now been released. Sacred soul standing in the glow of divine transition. There is a powerful current moving through your atmosphere right now, and Archangel Michael is urging you to pay attention to what your spirit has been sensing. The spiritual door that has been opening before you is no longer a distant possibility. It is a present, living reality. Each moment that passes brings you deeper into its alignment, and the energy surrounding you is shifting in ways that can no longer be dismissed or ignored. Heaven is not simply preparing you for change. Heaven is escorting you into it. You may have felt moments of intensity recently, moments where your emotions rose unexpectedly or where memories surfaced without warning. This is not the past returning. This is the past releasing. The emotional weight that once clung to you is loosening because your spirit is rising above the frequency that once held it. Archangel Michael is clearing the shadows of old seasons so you can enter this doorway without carrying residue that could weaken your next chapter. There is a purification happening inside you. You may feel more sensitive than usual. You may feel more aware of people's intentions, more alert to atmospheres, more tuned into your intuition. This awakening is not accidental. It is strategic. Heaven is heightening your senses because the level you are stepping into requires a deeper level of discernment. The door you are approaching is not ordinary. It is transformational. And transformation always requires clarity. As the door opens wider, you may notice that certain people in your life feel different. Not because they have changed externally, but because your spirit is reading them in truth rather than emotion. You may begin to see who genuinely values your presence and who only valued your silence or your compliance. You may start sensing who supports your growth and who subconsciously fears it. This is not judgment. This is revelation. Archangel Michael is revealing what your heart needs to know before you transition fully. Behind this door is a realm of alignment you have never accessed before. It carries opportunities that match your purpose, not your insecurities. Relationships that match your spirit, not your wounds. Environments that nourish your growth, not your exhaustion. For too long, you adjusted yourself to fit spaces that were beneath your calling. But now the door is showing you what it feels like to step into a life where you do not shrink, where you do not dim, where you do not suppress your light to make others comfortable. There is an internal strength rising in you. Even if you still feel vulnerable, even if you still feel uncertain, there is a deeper part of you awakening. A part that remembers your calling, your power, your identity. This is the real you. Not the you shaped by discouragement. Not the you shaped by loss. Not the you shaped by survival. This is the you that heaven crafted before life tried to rewrite your story. Archangel Michael has been fighting for this version of you. Through painful endings, through unexpected turns, through quiet battles, he has guarded the part of you that refused to give up. And now that you are standing in the light of this doorway, he wants you to understand something deeply. None of your struggles disqualified you. They prepared you. They carved depth into your spirit. They taught you resilience. They sharpened your discernment. They strengthened your faith. And now, those very qualities are becoming keys in your hand as you approach what lies ahead. The spiritual door is revealing more than blessing. It is revealing timing. Divine timing. And when timing aligns with purpose, acceleration happens. You may notice situations shifting quickly, conversations happening unexpectedly, connections forming suddenly. These are not coincidences. These are divine setups. The door is pulling everything into alignment, gathering every loose thread of your journey, weaving your experiences into a pattern you couldn't see before. But with acceleration comes spiritual responsibility. You must remain grounded. You must remain aware. You must remain in tune with the voice within you. Archangel Michael is guiding you to trust your intuition, to trust your inner knowing, to trust the subtle signs that heaven is placing on your path. Not every opportunity will be yours. Not every voice should influence your steps. Not every invitation is aligned. The door will attract both light and attention, and this is why discernment is now one of your greatest shields. Yet even with all this awakening, something deeper is happening beneath the surface. A pull, a calling, a whisper that keeps saying, "You are close. You are closer than you think." This is the energy of breakthrough. Not the imagined breakthrough you hoped for in old seasons, but the real breakthrough that shifts the structure of your life. The kind of breakthrough that clears years of stagnation in a single moment. The kind of breakthrough that realigns your entire path with one divine turn. And now, as you stand in the quiet glow of this unfolding, you may feel a sense of anticipation rising in you. Do not ignore it. That anticipation is confirmation. It is your spirit recognizing what your mind has not fully grasped yet. It is your destiny calling you forward. And soon, you will see the deeper purpose behind every challenge, every delay, every twist in your story. You are approaching the revelation that ties everything together. Before you move into the next unfolding, pause. Take a breath. Steady your heart. Because what comes next carries an intensity that will open your eyes in a way that cannot be reversed. You will thank yourself for staying with this message. Type "I stand at the threshold" in the comments if this is awakening your spirit. Blessing code 1001 has now been released. Awakened souls standing in the rising glow of revelation. There is a powerful shift pressing into your atmosphere right now, and Archangel Michael is urging you to open your heart wider, because what is unfolding at this very moment carries the deepest truth of the spiritual door hovering before you. This door is no longer simply opening. It is widening with purpose. It is breathing with intention. It is vibrating with a frequency that your spirit has been feeling long before your mind could understand it. And now, you are entering the phase where heaven begins to reveal why this door appeared in your life at this exact time. You may have sensed a strange mixture of peace and intensity around you lately. Peace, because something within you knows you are finally walking toward the life your spirit always carried. Intensity, because you can feel that nothing in your life will remain the same once you cross the threshold. This is how destiny feels when it gets close. It becomes loud without noise. It becomes clear without explanation. It becomes unavoidable. Archangel Michael has been standing on guard through this entire transition, ensuring that nothing unworthy, nothing deceptive, nothing draining follows you into the next realm of your journey. The truth is, you have outgrown places that once felt familiar. You have outgrown people who once felt essential. You have outgrown versions of yourself that you once thought were your permanent identity. Now the door is showing you what it feels like to grow into alignment, rather than attachment. Behind this spiritual door is a destiny that does not mirror your past limitations. It mirrors your spiritual identity. The version of you that heaven crafted before life tried to reshape who you believed you were. This is why you have been feeling a pull, a gravitational force of the spirit, drawing you toward something higher, something holier, something more aligned with your calling. You are stepping out of the fragmented parts of your story and stepping into the unified truth of who you were always meant to be. Recently, you may have noticed unusual emotional shifts. One moment you feel confident and ready. The next moment, you feel the weight of old doubts. This is normal during ascension. This is the tug of war between the old version of you and the rising version of you. The old tries to hold on because it is familiar. The new calls you forward because it is destiny. And Archangel Michael is whispering to your spirit now, do not cling to the doorway. Walk through it. The spiritual door reveals more than opportunity. It reveals intention. It reveals the intentions of those around you. In this season, You may begin to recognize who genuinely aligns with your purpose and who only aligns with your comfort. You may notice who grows with you and who resists your elevation. You may realize who speaks life into you and who quietly drains your energy. You may start seeing people not from your emotional history with them, but through the lens of spiritual truth. This clarity is not meant to isolate you. It is meant to protect you. Every destiny shift requires a pruning of atmosphere. Not because people are bad, but because your purpose demands purity. Behind this door, you will find a life that matches your anointing. A life that amplifies your gifts instead of suppressing them. A life that awakens your passion instead of numbing it. A life where you no longer walk in circles, but walk in purpose. This is why heaven has been pulling you away from cycles that drained you. This is why certain opportunities fell apart before you fully stepped into them. This is why relationships that once felt stable suddenly felt misaligned. The universe was not punishing you, it was redirecting you. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something very deeply. Everything that left made room for everything that is coming. Everything that broke made space for everything that will be restored. Everything that ended was necessary for what is beginning now. You are being positioned for elevation that your spirit has waited years to taste. And while part of you may still wonder if you are truly ready, heaven has already said yes. Heaven has already approved the timing. Heaven has already cleared the path. Heaven has already prepared what is waiting behind the door. Now, as the energy of this revelation sinks deeper into your being, you may feel a quiet, steady boldness rising within you. This boldness is the activation of spiritual authority. It is the strengthening of your inner voice. It is the anchoring of your soul into purpose. You are no longer the person who doubts your intuition. You are no longer the person who fears next steps. You are no longer the person who settles for spiritual crumbs. You are rising into fullness. And now, before you move forward into the next unfolding, pause for a moment. Something powerful is approaching in the next revelation. Something that connects your past battles, your present awakening, and your future calling into one clear divine pattern. This next unfolding will illuminate the true reason God has opened this door for you now, not earlier and not later. Hold your spirit still. What comes next will open your eyes. Type "I rise into my calling" in the comments if this is speaking into your soul. Blessing code 1717 is now activated. If this message is touching your spirit, then help it reach someone else who is desperate for this same divine confirmation. Like this message, share it, comment, and subscribe so more souls can awaken to what heaven is trying to release right now. And now, here is your support message, flowing seamlessly from this revelation. When you choose to support this work, you are sowing into the awakening of people standing before their own spiritual doors. Every seed you release becomes a beam of light heaven uses to guide another lost soul into alignment. Just as this message found you, your giving becomes the reason another person finds their moment of breakthrough. Let this be your divine trigger point, where your spirit says, "I will help carry this light forward." Your generosity becomes oil that multiplies, opening realms of clarity and protection around your own life. If God is stirring you, release your offering through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. Those who sow into revelation reap revelation. Step boldly into this act of faith now. Beloved soul standing in the center of divine unfolding, there is a sacred trembling in the atmosphere around you, and Archangel Michael is urging you to steady your heart, because what is approaching now is the deeper revelation your spirit has been preparing for. The spiritual door that has been widening in your life is no longer just a symbol. It is becoming an active force, pulling you toward the next phase of your path with unmistakable strength. You may have felt the shift in subtle ways, through sudden clarity, unexpected emotions, unusual dreams, or moments where you just knew something significant was happening. These signs were not random. They were divine signals that you are now closer than ever to stepping into the life that has been waiting behind the veil of delay. There is something about this moment that feels different from any transition you have walked through before. In past seasons, you felt lost, uncertain, or unaware of what God was doing behind the scenes. But now, even in moments of confusion, there is a quiet awareness inside you, a sense that your life is aligning with a higher purpose. This awareness is the voice of your spirit rising, finally able to hear the whispers heaven has been sending for years. The door is opening not because of luck, not because of timing alone, but because your spirit has matured into readiness. Archangel Michael has been guiding you toward this point with unwavering devotion. He has shielded you from situations that looked promising but held hidden danger. He has removed people whose intentions would have corrupted your path. He has pulled you away from opportunities that were designed to distract you rather than elevate you. You may have questioned why certain things slipped out of your hands. Now you will see that every loss was actually a rescue. Every detour was alignment. Every closed door was protection. This spiritual door not only leads into your next chapter, it exposes the foundation needed to sustain it. Heaven is not handing you a temporary shift. Heaven is preparing you for long-term elevation. And long-term elevation requires truth. It requires clarity. It requires purity of intention. This is why your perception has sharpened so dramatically in recent days. You are beginning to see what your spirit refused to look at before. You are beginning to recognize patterns that once repeated without your awareness. You are beginning to understand why your journey unfolded the way it did. Behind this door is a version of your life that operates at a higher spiritual frequency. It is a realm where your gifts sharpen naturally, where your intuition becomes louder than your fears, where your purpose becomes clearer than people's opinions, where your alignment pulls opportunities toward you without force. But before you step into this realm, the spiritual atmosphere around you must shift. And it is shifting now. You may have felt a growing distance from certain relationships lately. Not because of conflict, but because your spirit has outgrown the emotional frequency of those connections. This is not abandonment. This is elevation. Archangel Michael is detaching you from anything that cannot support the weight of the destiny unfolding in front of you. There are conversations you no longer feel drawn to. There are environments that suddenly feel too heavy. There are people you care about deeply, but your spirit no longer resonates with their path. This separation is necessary. It is heaven's way of clearing space around your destiny. You may also notice your spirit becoming more alert in moments of stillness. Your dreams may feel more symbolic. Your thoughts may become more reflective. Your emotions may express truths you have never spoken out loud. This is awakening. This is the inner door opening before the outer door does. Archangel Michael is aligning your internal world so you can step into your external breakthrough without confusion. And now comes a deeper truth. The spiritual door is not just a passageway. It is a revelation of identity. It is reminding you of who you are beyond your history, beyond your mistakes, beyond your wounds. Your past tried to shrink you. Your fears tried to silence you. Your insecurities tried to bury you. But the call on your life has always been stronger than anything that tried to dim it. This door is proof that heaven never forgot your name. What waits behind this door will not only elevate your path, it will redefine your understanding of purpose. You will find yourself drawn to things that once intimidated you. You will be drawn into rooms you never imagined standing in. You will cross paths with people who carry pieces of your destiny. You will see opportunities that align perfectly with your calling, not by coincidence, but by divine orchestration. Heaven has been preparing the environment for you just as much as it has been preparing you for the environment. Archangel Michael is now whispering to your spirit, you are ready. And readiness is not the absence of fear. It is the presence of courage shaped through faith. You are stepping into a realm where your voice matters, your presence shifts atmospheres, and your obedience unlocks blessings that have been stored for their appointed time. This is that appointed time. Before you move further, pause for a moment. What comes next is the revelation that ties every piece together. The battles, the delays, the pruning, the awakening, the stirring. It will explain why the timing of this door is sacred and why your spirit has been feeling this divine urgency. Hold still, because the next unfolding will illuminate everything. Type I am prepared for what awakens in the comments if your spirit is recognizing this truth. Blessing code 6060 has now been released. Enduring soul standing in the sacred pulse of destiny, there is a deep vibration expanding through your spirit right now. A hum in the unseen that Archangel Michael has been amplifying as the spiritual door before you reaches its most critical point. You are no longer simply observing the door opening. You are now standing at the very edge of crossing through it. This is where the air feels different around you. This is where time feels slower. This is where everything inside you whispers that something irreversible is about to happen. And this time your spirit is right. You may have felt a strange emotional intensity recently, a mix of anticipation, restlessness, and unexpected clarity. It may come in waves, sometimes subtle, sometimes overwhelming. This intensity is not anxiety. It is spiritual acceleration. You are aligning with the frequency of your next chapter, and that alignment often feels like a pull in every direction at once. Archangel Michael is guiding you through this tension because the closer you get to your breakthrough, the more your spirit sheds what cannot come with you. This shedding is not always gentle. You may notice old emotions resurfacing not to stay, but to release. You may notice thoughts from past seasons rising not to haunt you, but to leave you. You may notice that things, once soothing, suddenly feel draining. Conversations that once comforted now feel misaligned. Environments that once felt familiar now feel small. This is the spiritual equivalent of your inner self stretching. You are expanding beyond old limits, and expansion always creates discomfort. But you must understand something essential. Discomfort is a sign of growth, not danger. Behind this spiritual door lies a realm of clarity that will make your past confusion look like a distant memory. For so long, you asked yourself why certain things happened the way they did. Why people treated you the way they did. Why opportunities slipped away. Why prayers seemed delayed. But once you cross through this threshold, those questions will not need answers, because revelation itself will answer them. Archangel Michael is preparing you to see your life from above, not from within the storm. You will recognize purpose where you once saw pain. You will recognize protection where you once saw loss. The spiritual door is bringing you into a season where your spirit becomes the strongest part of you. Not your fear, not your doubt, not your insecurities. Your spirit is rising to its rightful place, and Archangel Michael has been guarding this rise with fierce devotion. He has seen every silent battle you endured. He has heard every unspoken prayer. He has watched you persevere even when you felt invisible. And now, heaven is honoring the strength you never knew was seen. As you approach the threshold, you may begin to feel a separation happening inside you. A separation between your old self and the self you are becoming. The old version of you was shaped by survival. The new version is shaped by purpose. The old version sought approval. The new version seeks alignment. The old version feared loss. The new version embraces transition. This internal shift is not a sign of instability. It is the evidence of transformation. You may start noticing that your dreams feel more vivid, more symbolic, more direct. This is because your spirit is receiving instructions for the next season of your life. You are being spiritually trained, awakened, and prepared. Dreams become maps when destiny is near. And Archangel Michael is overseeing these messages, ensuring nothing distracts you from understanding the guidance heaven is placing before you. You may also feel that your intuition has grown sharper, more immediate. You may sense people's intentions within seconds. You may feel the truth behind their words before they finish speaking. You may recognize energy shifts in ways you could never describe before. This heightened spiritual awareness is not new. It was always in you. But this door is activating it, strengthening it, empowering it. Behind this door is a season of divine alignment, opportunities that match your calling, connections that match your spirit, environments that match your growth. You will no longer have to force anything. You will no longer have to chase what is meant for you. You will no longer feel the anxiety of uncertainty. Instead, you will feel a calm certainty, an inner authority, a spiritual grounding that comes only from walking in step with heaven. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something profound. You are not just stepping into a new chapter. You are stepping into a new identity. The door is not simply offering change. It is offering transformation. The path ahead will not resemble the path behind you. And that is exactly the point. Every delay was preparation. Every disappointment was redirection. Every closed door was protection. Every shift was alignment. And now, as you stand in the stillness before the threshold fully opens, you may feel a holy curiosity rising in your chest. This curiosity is the call of destiny itself. It is your spirit leaning forward, preparing to cross into the realm where everything begins to make sense. Something profound is coming in the next unfolding, something that will reveal the true purpose behind this entire journey. Hold your heart steady. Keep your spirit open. What comes next carries the revelation that ignites your transformation. Type "I am ready for my revelation" in the comments if this message is stirring your soul. Blessing Ode 4444 has now been released. Chosen soul standing on the inner edge of divine unveiling. There is a sacred pressure building around your path right now, and Archangel Michael is leaning closer to your spirit than ever before. The spiritual door that has been opening through every revelation, every shift, and every inner awakening is now at its widest point. You are standing in the space where the veil thins, where the natural and the spiritual touch, where your past and your future meet in a single breath. This is one of the most delicate and powerful moments of your journey, and heaven wants you fully present for what is unfolding. Right now, your spirit may feel overwhelmed in ways your mind cannot explain. You may feel waves of clarity, followed by waves of emotion. You may feel inspired one moment, then reflective the next. You may feel an inner stirring that keeps repeating. Something is happening, even if you cannot articulate what that something is. This is not confusion. This is activation. Your entire being, mind, body, spirit, and intuition is recalibrating because the frequency of what lies behind this door is unlike anything you have stepped into before. Archangel Michael is revealing to you that this door is not simply about blessing. It is about alignment with the core truth of who you were designed to become. For years, life tried to shape you according to circumstances, according to other people's expectations, according to your own fears. But this moment is reversing all of that. This moment is calling you back to your divine identity. The identity heaven formed for you before you ever took your first breath. Behind this door lies a path where you live not from survival, but from purpose. Not from fear, but from wisdom. Not from procrastination, but from assignment. You will walk differently in this next chapter. You will speak differently. You will think differently. You will choose differently. Because what is awakening in you is not the version you learned to be. It is the version you were always meant to be. But before you cross into that life, the door must reveal something crucial. Something that explains the deep spiritual weight you have been feeling. And that truth is this: you have been in a spiritual battle for far longer than you realize. The exhaustion you felt was not normal tiredness. The delays were not coincidences. The resistance was not random. You were being pulled between the gravity of your destiny and the attachments of your past. But Archangel Michael has been fighting beside you in every unseen moment, cutting through barriers you never saw, dismantling spiritual blockages you never understood, and guiding you away from paths that would have derailed your calling. Your spirit is awakening now to the truth that the battles you survived were not signs of weakness. They were signs of potential. The enemy does not fight what is empty. The enemy fights what is destined. The intensity of your battles was proof of the magnitude of what heaven placed inside you. And this door is confirmation that the warfare did not break you. It prepared you. As the door opens further, you may feel your old self slipping away like a shadow fading at sunrise. The version of you that apologized for your light. The version of you that carried guilt for wanting more. The version of you that accepted smallness because you were afraid to outgrow the expectations others placed on you. That version of you cannot pass through this door. And that is why your spirit has been shedding layer after layer, even without your conscious effort. Heaven is cleansing you from within. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this purification is not punishment, it is empowerment. You are being stripped of what no longer serves your calling. You are being freed from emotional burdens you carried for too long. You are being separated from energies that drained your strength. Everything that is falling away right now is clearing the air around your destiny. And something else is happening. Something subtle but powerful. You are beginning to feel a pull toward your future. A quiet magnetism. A gentle forward motion. Even in your stillness, there is movement. Even in your calm, there is momentum. This is the sign that the door is not just open, it is calling you. The future is not waiting for you to make sense of it. It is inviting you to step into it by faith. Behind this door, your gifts will sharpen in ways you never expected. Your voice will carry more weight. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Your decisions will influence your destiny with precision. You will attract divine connections, divine opportunities, and divine resources. You will find yourself walking into moments that feel almost scripted, because they are. Heaven has written a season for you that flows with purpose, and this door is the entrance into that script. But you must understand this. Once you step through, there is no returning to who you were. This is a one-way doorway, a divine transformation point, a spiritual crossing. The life behind you will no longer have a hold on you. The patterns that once repeated will lose their power. The wounds that once controlled you will no longer define you. You will walk forward as the healed, elevated, awakened version of yourself. And now, before we step into the final depth of this unfolding, where everything becomes clear, pause for a moment. Steady your breath. Quiet your mind. Because the next revelation carries the full heartbeat of heaven. It holds the meaning of your journey, the purpose of your battles, and the truth of what your future is becoming. This next unfolding is the one your spirit has been waiting for. Type "I am at the door of transformation" in the comments if this resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 3030 has now been released. Anointed soul standing in the fullness of divine awakening. There is a holy intensity in the atmosphere surrounding you right now, and Archangel Michael is drawing near with a presence that is unmistakable. The spiritual door that has been gradually opening throughout this entire journey has now reached its moment of revelation. You are standing in front of the threshold that will redefine your entire life path. You are standing at the intersection of destiny and identity, of purpose and preparation, of calling and courage. And heaven is declaring that this is your appointed moment. Everything inside you may be trembling right now, not from fear, but from spiritual recognition. Your soul knows this door. Your spirit remembers it. Even if your mind cannot yet comprehend the magnitude, something deep within you understands that life after this moment will not look the same. You are stepping out of the version of yourself that was shaped by battles and stepping into the version that was shaped by purpose. Archangel Michael has stood by you in every hidden struggle, every silent prayer, every moment where you nearly surrendered your hope. He has been the warrior assigned to your path, clearing invisible obstacles, protecting your spirit from unseen opposition, and ensuring that you would reach this moment with strength still in your heart. You did not arrive here by accident. You arrived because heaven refused to let you fall. Now, the door stands open before you, not halfway, not partially, but fully. Behind it lies a realm of life that feels almost unreal. Clarity where confusion once lived, peace where chaos once settled, strength where fear had rooted itself, and alignment where stagnation once held you hostage. But this is not fantasy. This is promise. This is the future heaven has been quietly building behind the scenes of your delays. You may feel a wave of emotion rise within you as you consider what stepping through this door means. It means the end of cycles that drained your spirit. It means the release of patterns that kept you repeating the same emotional loops. It means the closure of stories that were never meant to carry into your next chapter. This door is both an ending and a beginning, a goodbye and a rebirth. You have carried the weight of old identities for far too long. Identities shaped by hurt. Identities shaped by disappointment. Identities shaped by survival. But Archangel Michael is declaring that those identities have completed their purpose. They taught you strength. They taught you resilience. They taught you discernment. But they cannot come with you now. The version of you stepping through this door is not wounded, not small, not unsure. You are rising as who you were always meant to be. Behind this door is alignment. Alignment with your divine purpose, alignment with your true relationships, alignment with opportunities that carry God's signature, alignment with environments that nourish your spirit instead of draining it. You are about to walk into seasons where things flow instead of force, where your intuition guides you with confidence, where your spirit recognizes open doors without hesitation, where the right people enter your life naturally because heaven has orchestrated every detail. But before you step through, there is one truth your spirit must absorb. You are worthy of what is waiting for you. You are worthy of breakthrough. You are worthy of clarity. You are worthy of purpose. You are worthy of divine alignment. You are worthy of the life heaven has prepared. The battles you faced were never signs that you were unworthy. They were signs that you were destined. The intensity of your struggles was proof of the magnitude of your calling. And now, as Archangel Michael stands beside you, he is reminding your spirit that nothing can take from you what God has ordained for you. You may feel a rising boldness within you now. That is not random. That is the activation of authority. Authority over your choices. Authority over your direction. Authority over your boundaries. Authority over your voice. You are stepping into a place where you no longer live apologetically, but intentionally, fully embracing the path heaven has carved for you. And as the sacred door stands open, heaven is whispering, step forward. Step into the healing. Step into the clarity. Step into the elevation. Step into the destiny that has been calling your name through every season of your journey. You are crossing from the life you survived into the life you were created for. Before we close this final revelation, pause for a moment. Breathe. Ground yourself. Because what you are about to receive is not just an invitation. It is a commissioning. Heaven is releasing you. Heaven is positioning you. Heaven is sending you forth. Now stay with me, because what I say next carries weight for your future. Type "I step through my divine doorway" in the comments if your spirit is receiving this moment. Blessing code 9999 is now released over your path. And now, before we complete this awakening, hear this. Like this message, share it, comment your testimony, and subscribe if you have not already. Every engagement helps this message reach someone who is standing before their own divine doorway. Just as you stand before your spiritual doorway, countless others stand before theirs, waiting for a message like this to awaken them. When you support this mission, you are not giving to a channel. You are sowing into transformation, deliverance, clarity, and awakening for souls across the world. God uses your seed the same way He uses your obedience, to open doors in the lives of those who feel forgotten. Let this be your divine trigger moment, where you say, "I will help carry heaven's light forward." Your offering becomes oil poured into a global movement of spiritual restoration. If your spirit feels the pull, release your support through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. Heaven blesses those who respond to divine instruction. Step boldly into this prophetic act of giving now.